Hello, Buckeye Prep sports fans. Welcome to Winter Watch. Today we're gonna go over some basic games that I selected out up until January 4th. Just probably one of the best games and most interesting games I picked out over your winter break you could catch and watch. The date should be listed on the video, hopefully, if I edit this right. I'm sorry, I'm a little sick right now, and I'm going to give myself like 2 minutes to cover each game and why do I think it's interesting. With this first one being Wasia Tenora. I'm very stuck right now with the kid, so apologize for that. Tenora's off to a really hot start, 5-0, and Wasian's played some teams tough here recently. They brought Edgerton down to the wire. It's going to be a very interesting game here this Friday night, of which I'm at right now. Today's the 18th of December. I'm going to try to, once again, I'm trying to talk with everything clogged up right now. I got some medical things going on, and I'm very sick. So, yeah, a very interesting game here. Hot start for Tenora. I think it was 54-51. Wasion lost to Edgerton, and I think Edgerton's a pretty solid team this year. They have probably one of the best teams I've seen in a while for basketball for them. There's not much seasons I've remembered in the past years they've gotten the double digits for Edgerton's basketball team. But as we hop into this next game here, Wayne Trace, Arlington. Arlington's always been a good basketball program. So has Wayne Trace. Wayne Trace has just played some tough opponents. Crestview, and then an unexpected loss from Bryan on the road. But those early losses for Wayne Trace will help get that out of the way. I think this will be a really good battle, especially with that lock of Clemens boy pairing nicely against Arlington's defense. It'll be very interesting. I don't know if Arlington, what they run primarily, but I think that 6-0 record should stand nicely against the Raiders. I think Arlington should be the favorite in this game. I remember for the past 2 years, I think it's been Wayne Trace has got this in this home and away battle here. Just recently, I want to say 2 years ago is when they've started playing each other. And yeah, the thing is for the Raiders is the lack of offense the other night, but I think their defense stepped up against Crestview. Just needing to at least nail one of those two foul shots to send it to overtime really cost them 31-30 against the Crestview Knights. That was a really good game. Yeah, I'm really excited about this game this Friday night as we head into the next one with Tenora and Miller City, two undefeated teams. I don't know what Miller City runs, but it's kept that 5-0 record alive, according to Max Preps. I'm sorry if they're not 5-0 by the time this goes out to you. I'm trying to record this on the same day and edit it. And I got Dollar General headphones I'm speaking into right now because I'm currently sick laying here in my bed. But once again, Tenora, solid team this year, it looks like. 5-0 start. Northwest Ohio Sports is really high on them. I'm not really high on them. Do I think they're athletic enough to win the GMCs? Yeah. Do I think they're win the first round of playoff team? I don't know. It's easier, especially the expanded playoffs. Playoff bracket, I would say, for OHSAA and basketball. But I honestly don't know what to think of this game because I haven't seen Miller City much. But two undefeated teams, that's going to be very interesting. At Miller City, we'll see what comes this upcoming game. And to our next game, Paulding's had a rough start, and then coming in right after the Tenor game, Miller City's got to go in the very next day on the road to Paulding. This is why I really highlighted this. Is Paulding's got talent, but they've just had a really rough start here recently with Bluffton and teams that have been tough on the start of their schedule. I think Blake Ronehouse and Kane Jones and many players on their teams are talented enough. I think this was a GMC contender team. I still think they are if they could get some things together. It's just right now they've been really down in the dumps, and I think this could favor, if they're healthy, Paulding a little bit. Even if Miller City wins against Sonora, I would like to favor Paulding in this. It's just, I think Miller City is going to have to play a pretty good game against Sonora no matter what. Even it would help if I knew Miller City a little bit better, what they've got for guys, but I think I'll be circling this game for possible upset. Going in this next round of games, I'm going to just go throughout these because this is going to be the first week of GMCs here. Of course, the good old Paulding and Wayne Trace Black Swamp rivalry game. I'm sorry, I'm not sounding correctly with my words here because of this stupid freaking virus. But Antwerp Tenora is going to be interesting. Depending on how legit Tenora is. Because Antwerp's got a couple key players that could spring upset. Once again, I'll go back to the Waitress Paulding game really quick. I think this is going to be the game of the week. Despite seeing that Hicksville Edgerton, I think legit strength of schedule has killed both these teams. And I think this is basically like the week one battle of the GMCs. I think this could be possibly the GMC championship game right here, depending on how everything goes. But Edgerton and Hicksville's definitely going to be very interesting. Two teams off to a hot start. I think Hicksville is probably the more legit team out of the matchup here. I would say Hicksville's got much tougher roster, I would say, from what I've seen so far. And speaking of years past previous, with their freshmen leading up to now, I think Garrett Turnbull is a pretty good player for Hicksville's offense, I would say. They've been putting up some decent numbers. I'm just thinking of a blank of who I'm thinking of Edgerton right now. I was watching the other night. Gosh dang it. But oh well, I'm going to hop into this next game really quick before I run out of time. Fairview, Ayersville. Fairview, a sneaky team, I would say, this year. Ayersville doesn't have any offensive opponents, I would say. Players, I would say, that's really stood out to me. I think they're an average team this year. But as we hop into this next game, Pettysville is looking hot right now. Northwest Ohio's favorite, I don't know. I think Fairview has the potential to get them here at home, especially with Pettysville on the road on a Saturday night. I would really think this is calling an upset here. Northwest Ohio Sports has, of course, Pettysville as the number one team right now, but I don't know how legit that is, especially with Tenora ranked at number 2. I love Northwest Ohio Sports stuff, but I think they're really Defiance biased. Of course, coming from Tenora itself, they basically shoot it in the basement of Tenora's high school. But not to call any bias there, I think Fairview possibly could call an upset right here. So really be interested in that game. Tenora, Patrick Henry, that's going to be a very interesting game. Also, I don't think the records will be as strong by this point in the season. I think you could possibly see a 6-4 Tenora team or something like that at this point. Yeah, I don't know how strong the records will be for both these two games, but this is one I really want to pinpoint, especially with the current record. For both these teams, I think Miller City and Hicksville will be a good matchup on its own if Miller City proves that they are a solid team overall. I just haven't seen anyone that Miller City has played that is a legit team enough to say that they could meet Hicksville. So I would have Hicksville with the favorite right now. I don't know Miller City's team that well, so don't quote me on that. But Patrick Henry has looked solid. I think they've always been a solid team, a solid basketball team throughout the years. I think they went like 17-5 or something like that last year, and they've always been a solid team. I just don't know how solid Tenora is. And if you want more clips like this where I'm that sick and commentating and doing voiceover on potential matchups, let me know. You guys have a good rest of your day.